You got any music? I move better with music.
Well, that's a pretty good Sarah Paulson this week.
You're
getting closer. Yeah.
Come rack.
I don't know how you did it a second ago, but it was like...
You got any music?
Yeah, it's like lower.
Welcome back to And Just Like Yap. I am Andi.
I'm Caroline.
Today we have a very special episode because we're together in
Forever.
person, in the flesh.
I know.
Sweet Caroline is here in Chicago.
Couldn't be happier to be recapping episode 5 together in person.
This was an interesting episode.
It was very interesting. Again, so last week we sort of got a very Niecy Nash Emerald focused episode. And this week, as we were predicting, I did think we would get some empathy and sympathy for Carrington, and it came episode 5.
So let's jump right into it. We are in the car, we see cupcakes. We realize that we are in the car with none other than Carrington Lane's daughter, Ami.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Carrington was going to end up being a mother.
I know. I think she has no relationships with anyone. So to find out that she has a daughter.
Also, the fact that she's been so intense and rude and the way like she uses language, you're like, oh my God, there's a child in her life.
She's a mother?
I never would. She's a mamacita. I would never have expected.
I'm a mom. I know. Yeah. And especially to also then see, oh, she's the kind of mom that gets her cupcakes to take to school.
Yeah. And drives her to school.
Yeah. It's a lot of very like interesting details that she's a little bit more hands-on. And also she's a teen. So this is like, how old is Carrington? Not that that matters, but we just have more questions about her.
Lots of questions.
Yeah.
Carrington then runs through a red light, like it's briefly yellow, and then she speeds up, and her daughter calls out red light, and then Carrington is like, it was yellow. Carrington is mentioning like, I'm really sorry, I'm not gonna be able to be at your birthday celebration, but she's like, I do all of this for us, like all of my like time spent being a crazy lawyer. And she is like asking like, who do you want to invite to your birthday party? And Ami says like she wants to invite her violin teacher
And her nanny.
And like doesn't say anything about friends. And Carrington is like, well, why don't you like hand out the cupcakes at school and see what happens? And she says, you want me to buy friendship with cupcakes, which just, that feels a lot like Carrington knows what her daughter's going through because she went through the same
Totally.
kind of
And
thing.
I think also that sort of shows Carrington's insecurity that we've seen with the crew of GRG. Similarly, that she doesn't know how to form a authentic friendship.
Yeah.
And so the only way that she knows is through gifts and like physical items.
Yeah. Ami asks, is there any chance Uncle Sebastian might be able to come this weekend? And like Carr's face in this moment, I was like, who is Uncle Sebastian?
I know.
What are we dealing with here? Carr is like, we don't see him very often. He helped bring you into the world, and I will always love him for that.
I was like, did they have a relationship together? Or was this, again, calling back to Emerald Green, was this an artificial insemination?
Right. Like, who is this person? Was this a romantic interest? Was this just like a
IVF?
friend? Lots of questions. But once again, we're seeing that like one of the powerful lawyer women has had a child, but is not in like a formal. Okay. And then we get more information about Uncle Sebastian that apparently he was dating somebody who had a crystal meth addiction.
Right.
And this was so funny. Her daughter says, crystal meth is a hard road. This broke my heart. Carrington watches her daughter, exit the car, doesn't bring the cupcakes with her, and then just kind of stand around awkwardly near a group of girls talking to each other. I still have like nightmares about being this age.
Like middle school is the worst.
Awful.
It's hell on earth.
If you're in 7th grade, I'm so sorry.
And if you're in 7th grade watching our recap of All's Fair, we
turn it off.
We turn it off, and also like comment and let us know. We can be your cool aunts.
You're going to be, we can be your cool aunt. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
It's going to be fine.
You will eventually not be in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Okay. Brooke Shields is here.
Brooke is here.
Brooke Shields is here, and she's talking about how she wants to divorce her husband because he no longer knows who she is because he had early onset Alzheimer's that is now full Alzheimer's, I'm assuming. And her daughter has power of attorney. She doesn't have power of attorney.
Confusing.
And the daughter is refusing to alter this prenup that was signed 40 years ago when her parents got married. We'll get into it in a second. She goes into these flashbacks, which, by the way, I'm sorry.
Unclear what time.
I'm sorry to this woman, but you don't look like Brooke.
You don't look like Brooke Shields. Also, is it 1984?
Her husband was like Brown and Dartmouth educated and doing his residency at UCLA. Now, if that checks out age-wise, she was a freshman at UCLA while he was doing his medical residency. So he's like at least
8 years older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't like that age
I don't
gap.
like that at all.
But maybe age gap was different in the 1980s. At least it wasn't
Whenever
20.
the hell this was. Meanwhile, Dena's listening to this story and is like, oh, what a lovely story of like marriage.
I know. Wow, back in my day. But also now Dena is just a silent partner.
Yeah,
in
but
GRT.
what's she doing
like,
here?
I thought she was just Laura's lawyer.
No, but she's like, you know what? What case are we doing today? I'll come in. And they're like, you're not on the payroll.
Yeah, she's like, I got lived experience.
Yeah. Like, don't you have a husband who needs 24-hour care? I'm gonna come in and meet.
He's fine. He's comatose right now.
He's asleep. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So we go back to the flashback, and Brooke Shields' character is saying like she had to live basically vicariously through her husband because it was all about supporting his career, and she didn't get to have any of her own adventure. And then Dena says what we're all kind of thinking of like, well, why do you have to divorce him? You've put him in a facility. He's being taken care of there. Like, why can't you just like go about your life and have these adventures? And she's like, I can't do it. Like, I'll always still feel responsible if I'm married to him. And I'm kind of like, wouldn't you still feel responsible even if you were divorced from him because you were married to him for 40? Like, I'm not saying don't do what you want with the divorce, but I was just kind of like, I don't understand this logic. Like, you could go to Europe for a little while if
I know. I
you
think
wanted.
we just don't know what the diagnosis is. It's confusing.
Yeah.
I think that like the ethics around this and the like are just a little confusing.
Yeah.
We understand why they're doing this plot line.
Yes.
It's why Dena's upset because she's going through this with her husband right now.
Right.
And she's also had to give up her law career to take care of her husband.
Yes. It seems a little weird because it's like in this show, previously in all the episodes, we're 100% supposed to side with the woman who's coming in and being like, my prenup is fucking me. Obviously. And then you hear this story and you're like, at this point, do you really need a legal divorce from this man? But also like, who knows? We cut back to lunchtime central where I guess we're just having tea now in the...
Nobu was closed today.
Yeah. Nobu is closed today, so we're not eating. We're just having tea in the round library room. And so Alora is like, and we have to talk about it. And Emerald is like, no way. That was last week's episode. We're not getting into it.
We're not continuing that plot into this week, considering we're not talking about those embryos you implanted.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, while we're in the middle of like trying to get this woman like negotiate a better prenup for her, like for better, for worse, sickness and in health. Like I meant those words when I said them. I'm not trying to divorce Dougie, even though he's like not doing well. Yeah, exactly. So basically they're like, the best thing we can do is try to like be emotionally manipulative and persuade to the daughter and persuade her to like give her mother a better deal here. And they're like, Liberty, why don't you take the lead on that? But also like, don't be obvious about the fact that you're about to sign your own prenup.
And also it's like, welcome back, Liberty. She was like not in the last episode.
Not at all. Not at all. Hi, you're still here. You still work here. I love the idea that they're like, don't mention you're about to sign a prenup. I mean, wouldn't it be irresponsible as a lawyer to be like, let me tell you what I'm doing in my marriage? Like, why would that come up?
I know. What if isn't the separation of, relationship and case?
Yeah, well, not when it comes to love, Caroline.
Yeah, not when it comes to love.
Who could separate the two? And Liberty's like, I'm not signing a prenup. What the fuck do you bitches mean?
Truly shocking.
Liberty basically is like, I'm trusting in love. I've waited my whole life for this. And I'm like, how is it possible that a woman who is a divorce lawyer, who specializes in divorce and dealing with shitty prenups to like help her female clients, why on earth would you not?
I know. And especially as we've learned in the 3 pieces of actual like law that we've learned from the episode so far, in California, they get half.
Yeah.
So why would you put yourself at risk?
I don't understand. Oh, okay. Now we get another guest star for a very, very brief moment. Who is this actress again?
Jennifer Morrison from House.
And so it turns out Carrington is this woman's lawyer. They're there for a mediation. And this woman, I immediately was like, this woman is so mean to Carrington. She must be her sister.
Which is a valid, with the way that they were talking to each other, I was like, oh, that's family.
I was just like, exactly. We have not seen Carrington like have anybody be mean to Carrington.
Right.
So I was like, oh, surely this must be her sister.
And also, we haven't seen Carrington sort of lose her facade yet.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we've sort of seen that at all this entire series, which was Andi's complaint in many of the episodes leading up to this.
It was,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that we're getting more. And Sarah Paulson's such dimension, exactly.
Yeah.
Dimension. So yeah, this woman is like, don't be late again. They get into the mediation room and we learn that this character's name is Willow Fallow. Willow Fallow. Willow Fallow. Meanwhile, while like things are getting started with the mediation, Carrington glances down at her phone and listen, iPhone memories, I mean, this is
diabolical.
Diabolical. They're so cruel. You look down and all of a sudden you're like, I don't want to see a happier time in my life. Yeah, so this is a picture of her and her daughter Ami, and we can assume Uncle Sebastian, who is her daughter's biological father, together over the years. iPhone always makes those stupid little slideshows.
I know, and it's like whatever royalty-free music that they put over it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And then once again, I was like, where did this woman come from that she's being so mean to the queen of mean? Carrington gets emotional looking at her phone, which is obviously very unusual for her. And Willow is like, are you fucking crying? And she asks her, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then Carrington remembers who the fuck she is.
I know, it turns into her voice.
She takes one breath and snaps right back and is, what is wrong with me? Fucking nothing. At least I'm a human with feelings. And this took me out as...
Go on.
We had to take the screenshot as somebody who is trained in stenography.
She's a woman of many talents.
I love a stenography joke, and they always kind of do it in this context of like, remember, everything that's being said in the room is also being taken down.
This is the first stenographer we've seen in the series.
Yes, because we haven't been in a courtroom at any point. But yes, you can have a stenographer in other contexts that are not a courtroom if you want everything taken down.
Honestly, a friendship meeting.
On the record, yes.
Hire them, be like, I'm about to have a fight. Like, we're about to go to dinner. A housewife should get a stenographer.
Oh my God. Okay, and then we get a reaction shot of this fight that's happening between Willow and Carr, of Willow's ex, who, by the way, who comes to a mediation with your ex dressed like that?
Oh, well, I know, looking like they're coming from Miami Vice.
Yeah, she's eyeing Carrington, and then she comes and finds her outside, and I love this. If I approach, you're going to go all Kim Jong-un.
Incredible.
And these two start to get to know each other a little bit, and Carrington is like, my daughter and I are sharing my midlife crisis. And this woman gives her card and is like, don't be afraid to like ask for help if you're going through a rough time. Like, the important thing is knowing how to ask for it. So this was just very interesting. I at first, like, it's funny, this actress holds such a presence with her that even when she didn't say anything in the scene before, I was like, we're getting a new character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just like, she's too good of an actress. And I was like, we're not using her. This is not like our other guest stars of the week. This is someone who's going to stick around.
And then we cut to the couple that I'm so sorry, but I could not give two flying fucks around. They're at dinner, as they usually are. Yeah. And I'm sorry, the line reading of Naomi Watts saying, I know exactly what I'm going to have. The burger.
The burger.
The burger. We find out the burger's not on the menu because the restaurant has decided to go vegan.
Sure.
She's like, whoever made this decision deserves to be locked in a dungeon. And then her fiance is like, clink, clink, I'm an investor. What is this man's job?
I know. Well, it's just, I think... The more that we're alluding to the fact that Niecy keeps saying, oh, Reggie's the only good man left.
Yes.
And suddenly he's invested in a restaurant without talking to Liberty. I just think the bottom's about to fall out with Reggie as well.
Something weird keeps happening because we've talked about this. They keep doing kind of the same plot line over and over again with these two of like, Reggie's too good to be true, but maybe he's not too good to be true.
No, I think.
And then he pulls out the prenup. And this is after Liberty has told everyone, oh, Reggie's absolutely on board for no prenup.
Right.
So he pulls it out, and of course she is like clearly pissed about it and just like angrily sips her wine.
Yep.
We did Google this address. It's not real.
Both of them.
Unfortunately. Yeah. I can't believe Liberty Ronson is her legal name. So she's pissed because he wants to do a prenup. I don't know. This just like, as you said, this rings sort of like something's up.
Yeah, I think we're building into, because otherwise there's literally nothing going on for Liberty's character otherwise.
No.
So it would not make sense to me if this isn't building to something. Because my thought is like, we're getting the big acting scenes for a lot of these actresses. So I'm like, this has to be building to something for Naomi.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's like, otherwise it's the same plot line over and over and over again. Of like,
Yeah.
should I marry him? I'll marry him. And it's like,
And then
no
also
one
it's like,
cares
then
enough.
why do we get Naomi Watts?
Yeah, exactly. You could have gotten anybody.
Yeah.
And he mentions like the prenup is really for you. Because like, what if like my company goes belly up? I don't want you to be saddled with the debt. And this is when you were like, I think he must have some kind of,
Yeah.
too good to be true, but like he's being like just honest enough that you're like, something else has to be going on here. I don't know why she's surprised. Like he's very, very wealthy and has like an ambiguous.
Again, you're a divorce lawyer.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. She was like
Liberty.
clearly offended by this. Whatever, Liberty. We cut to this insane house that Chase lives
Another
in.
Selling Sunset production.
Yes. Carr is over there and she's like, how much does Allura pay for this place? $150K a month.
That's $1.8 million a year.
Why wouldn't you just buy a home for $1.8 million at that point?
I think at that point, because they haven't finalized the divorce,
sure.
I think you're not going to buy property.
Carrington is like, FYI, if something comes out when we actually go to court that you haven't told
They're going
me.
in 2 weeks.
Yes, they're going in 2 weeks to finally like hammer this out in court. And Carrington's like, if something else comes up that you haven't told me about, I'm going to be super, super pissed. And then she says, am I making myself clear? Sir fucks a lot, which is so funny.
I mean, I want to know, like, did Sarah Paulson improvise any of these?
I need to know.
I need to know if there was like a fun run.
Yeah, I need to know. Otherwise, whoever is responsible for Sir fucks a lot, thank you for your service.
I know. Which,
and here is another one.
Yeah, which Andi didn't know about the baby oil detail.
I did not. But this came about because Chase's hair looks really greasy. It's pulled back in a really greasy bun. And she's talking about how, like, he needs to clean himself up to go into the courtroom. And he was like, I washed my hair, okay? And she says, what, with leftover baby oil from a Diddy freak off.
And which is a very dark thing.
Carrington always has her finger on the pulse of the worst possible thing she could say. And then we get into this whole scene.
I hate it. I felt so uncomfortable.
Caroline and I never get the opportunity to actually watch these together at the same time. And the whole scene, the two of us were on this couch going, no, 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 no.
Well, because also, like, we've sort of said, it's felt like, not that they've told us this, but I just sort of implied, maybe that's just because I'm, like, imprinting Sarah Paulson on Carrington, is that, like, I thought she was a lesbian. I just, like, really thought, but also it's just, like, this man needs to be in active therapy for his sex addiction. Like, he needs to go to a rehab because this man clearly has no impulse control on anything that is happening.
None whatsoever.
Like, he can't even keep himself from his lawyer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to seduce his lawyer because she's there and he wants to fuck. But she starts being like, baby needs to wash his hair. He's like, well, why don't you, he's trying to be sexy. And it's like, why don't you wash my hair for me?
This is Jared.
And she says, what, like out of Africa or some shit? And of course, he has no idea what she's talking about, but
we do, because we're talking about out of Africa. And then, of course, Steve and Miranda on their honeymoon in the woods when Miranda has no signal. And Steve says, Miranda, I want to wash your hair.
And she's like, well, I already washed it. And he's like, it'll be romantic, like out of Africa.
And then he, like, gets the soap in her eye.
The thing I've always taken issue with is he says he wants to wash her hair, and then he reaches for bar soap. And then, like, suds it up. And now I use a shampoo bar.
Right.
So, like, those exist. But we're talking about, what was that, 2005?
That was 2004.
Yeah. I don't know that was, I don't know. If my significant other was like, I want to wash your hair and then reach for bar soap, I'd be like, out of the tub. You don't know how to use soap.
Also, in a cabin like that, they're probably not being used that frequently. So that soap's probably been sitting there for a long time as well. And who knows? Yeah,
Steve, what are you doing? And then he's still trying to seduce her and is like, why don't you show me? And then prepares for his little magic Mike moment.
Conveniently with an outdoor shower on a platform.
I know, it looked like he was about to do like a flash dance, like back in the chair and like pull the...
And that Genuine is warming up in the distance.
Yeah, this was crazy. Like, why are you trying to seduce your lawyer? Why?
Again, I don't understand Allura has ruined her entire case by getting those embryos implanted.
Yes.
Like,
I'm just like, I was very confused by this. I was like, what game is he playing? And I think the answer is just like his
penis.
His penis just wants a place to
it needs to
sleep for
go
the night.
somewhere. Yeah. Because again, like what happened to the girl from the football team? Like there are all these women he keeps sleeping with and they sort of set up and then they just put him to the wayside.
Yeah, it's very confusing. She does end up washing his hair and then he tries once again to like kiss her and she's like, no. Maybe last week I would have, but this week I'm trying to be a good mommy to my little princess. So yeah, she turns him down and thank God. Again, Caroline and I were sitting on this couch going, no, good.
Great.
If I were this man's lawyer though, I'd be fucking angry. Like I'm surprised she didn't just scream at him. Like,
well, he caught her in a bad week.
And then Carrington, drunk as a skunk, ends up drunk driving home. She is singing Edge of 17.
Incredible.
While swerving all over the place. She gets pulled over and Caroline and I were like, I'm sorry, the cop's also hot?
Yeah, the cop is also hot. Also, I'm like, what part of LA are we driving in where we're able to just like pull off like this? Like, I don't know where we're at. The hills?
I fail to understand.
Yeah.
So he makes her get out of the car and he's got a very long last name that she cannot pronounce and keeps mispronouncing it. Okay, so we get this backdrop of
DTLA.
Gorge. And she's trying to like walk the line to prove she's not drunk. And of course it's like, you got any music? I move better with music.
Well, that's a pretty good Sarah Paulson this week.
You're
getting closer. Yeah. We're trying really hard to get the Sarah Paulson voice.
We're working really, come rag.
No, I don't know how you did it a second ago, but it was like.
You got any music?
Yeah, it's like lower.
Yeah.
And like rap. Yeah.
Anyway, she obviously gets taken to jail because she's fucking drunk after she fails the breathalyzer. But she is notified that she made bail and she's like, huh? And it is our new lawyer friend who I guess she called. We come to find out that Lorraine Toussaint's character has actually been watching Carrington for years and like already knew who she was prior to them meeting. And Carrington's like, I don't understand why you're being nice to me. No one is ever nice to me. What do you want? And this woman is like, I need you to help me bring down Alora Grant. Once again, we have another person who hates Alora and like wants to bring her down. And again, I'm like, we haven't given enough backstory for why everyone hates Alora. And the way Kim Kardashian is playing her, she's actually like pretty likable.
I know. So it's very confusing in general, like what's happening here.
Yeah. At the very least, she's neutral, you know? Like
I mean, she did, secretly steal 2 embryos and implant them.
But good for her.
Good for her.
But she does say that she steals her high-profile clients and she undermines her credibility in court.
Which, again, I haven't seen her in court.
Yeah, I don't know that she's ever been to a courtroom. Yeah. Are you sure you're thinking of the same person?
A food mall court? Maybe.
A food mall court. A mall food court.
A mall food court.
I like food mall court. I prefer that. And she says, I can help you with the divorce again with Chase Monroe that you're working on because I've got so much dirt on Madam, I could start a garden.
Which I was like, what a line.
What a line.
Okay, here's my prediction because she says she's got all this dirt. We're about to go into mediation. Is she going to give her all of this information to use? Like, this is when we get the real backstory.
Yeah, maybe.
Of Alora is, like, in this mediation.
Yeah, and we find out, like, bad things that Alora has done. Because so far, it's just people seem to hate her because, like, Milan was really envious of
just who she
everything she had. And, like, Chase felt supposedly like he was emasculated. So we'll find out if she's actually done anything like truly despicable. Had to take this screenshot because while we were watching the episode, of course, Hulu, thank you for this Khloe Kardashian perfume ad. We are at this dystopian boxing gym. The government has collapsed and we all live underground and box. And Milan is calling Chase to inform him about the pregnancy. Yo, what up, Milan?
Yo, Adrian.
Yeah. Now, Milan is visibly pregnant.
Yeah, we have no idea how much time has passed because we haven't seen her in like 2 episodes. So that could be 4 months.
And time is very confusing in the All's Fair universe. I have to assume this is supposed to be like at least 4 months along.
I think 4 to 5. Because here's what I assume is that she's going to give birth before the end of the season.
Oh.
Because they wouldn't drag her pregnancy into season 2.
Yeah, no. See, we're going to have to see that baby.
You're going to see that baby because something's going to happen with the embryos.
Yes. So Chase finds out the baby is his.
Going back to when Carrington said earlier, there better be nothing that you're hiding.
He's like, oh my God, I'm having a kid. And she's like, no, I'm having a kid. I don't know.
It says you're pregnant, get pregnant with a baby.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, no, I'm having the kid. I don't know what you're doing, which is, whew. Okay. And then, of course, we have, he ends the conversation with, does Laura know? And Milan just gets emotional and hangs up. So he doesn't know if Laura knows, but that kind of indicates that she probably does. We cut back to the case of the week, which we have
forgotten about.
Yeah, exactly. It's been like a whole 30 minutes. Like, we don't care. Brooke Shields' character's daughter is like, well, this is my mom's ticket out. So she doesn't want to be here anymore for my dad.
Oh, that's such eldest daughter.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
I mean, well, the thing is, it's very interesting that, like, she's the one who has, like, power of attorney and not the mom. And then, of course, they're talking about how they want to come to an agreement outside of the courts. Again, we don't go to a courtroom.
No.
At GRG. We've never seen one. There's some impassioned conversation between between the daughter and Brooke Shields' character. And Brooke Shields is like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving your dad. And, like, once again, I'm like, I don't understand. Is it that she doesn't have access to any of the money while she's still married to him?
It's, again, unclear. This is, like, very underbaked.
Yeah, it was. Because she keeps being like, I can't. At one point, she's like, I want to do what he did. He traveled. He made new friends. I was like, you can't make new friends? What are you talking about?
I know. I think it's sort of like this case of the week thing. It works some episodes and others it just doesn't.
It's because they're not, like, holding to it. I think.
And I think, like, this episode, we have still so many other plots that we're going on to that it's like I love getting to see Brooke Shields, obviously.
Of course.
I love thrilled to touch base.
Yeah.
But I do think if it's going to be like this, and it's like, then we might as well just focus on everyone else this episode. And then there's more space, and it doesn't feel like we're shoving 8 plots into one episode like they are currently.
And then Liberty is like, let me get some advice from this woman.
Right.
Real fast. Why did you sign a prenup all those years ago? And she was like, I mean, we didn't really care. It was 40 years ago. It was a piece of paper. Nobody thinks, I mean, this is literally brought up in, like, one of the previous episodes. You don't think that things are going to fall apart when you get married.
Right.
In any way. Like, nobody predicts that there's going to be illness or indiscretions or what have you. But that's why you have a prenup. Yeah. So Liberty's consulting her about, like, how she should feel about prenups. We cut to Carrington's office, and we took the screenshot because her daughter is sitting there eating a blizzard.
God, I wonder, I would love one.
And then we have Carrington's daughter is making fun of her because she finds this book called, what was it called? Like, The Optimized Woman.
Optimizing your mind.
Yeah. Using your menstrual cycle to achieve success and fulfillment.
And there's nothing I can do with that cycle.
And Carrington oddly responds to this like, that is an amazing book. Carrington is like, here's where you're actually in my office. I have an assignment for you, and then we're going to Disneyland in these outfits.
And also I said, like, great. So it's like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. We're going to drive 45 minutes to Anaheim plus in rush hour traffic.
Yes.
So you're going to get 2 hours at Disneyland.
And you're going to be in your school uniform, and I'm going to be dressed like one of the 3 Musketeers.
Maybe they get one of, you know how, like, when you spend a lot of money at Disneyland, you get, like, those specific tour guide?
Yeah.
So maybe they, like, she has one on call there. And she's like, take me to Soarin' on California Adventure. And she lets her little feet hang while they go over Napa Valley.
Soarin', please. Oh my God, I love that. I would actually, I feel robbed of the fact that we didn't get to see Carrington at Disneyland.
I know. It's a Hulu Disney production. Why don't I get to see the GRG and Carrington?
Yeah, do I have to pay even more?
I know.
She turns out the assignment is she knows that her daughter is suffering in silence at this private school that she doesn't like. But she's going to be going into 7th grade, which means she has the opportunity to transfer schools. And Carrington has found a school for her. She is like, you can go to this new school, but you're going to have to do a very competitive application. And I'm going to help you write like a kick-ass essay. And she's like, what do you want to write your essay about? It has to be about somebody who's overcome a challenge and has like inspired you. And her daughter does this like little glove hand motion.
Yeah.
And you and I were both like, what? And Carrington is like, you want to write about how mommy used to be a cutter. And this is crazy acting from Sarah Paulson.
I know. This is when it's just like, wow, she's really locked in here. I'll also say the actor playing Ami, I think she's great for
Yeah, she's really good.
She's really good. The two of them like play off each other very well. Also,
Yeah.
you made an important realization with the rose.
Oh, yeah. So she's wearing this like little, I don't know, like rose pin on her collar. Dena had one, like a black one. I don't know. Rose pins seem to be like a running
But also like
theme.
Again, we've like, hinted at like what if Dena happens to be her mother? And it would be interesting if that's like if there ends up being anything with
or
the
like
two
her aunt or something.
Yeah,
like
some distant
related
member.
in some way. There does seem to be something there.
Yeah, but Sarah Paulson really locks in at this moment.
This whole scene, because she's talking about something that's like very, very personal and upsetting to both Carrington and her daughter, but also like framing it in the context of like, yeah, that's a good thing to use for your essay.
Yeah.
Like that'll get you into this school.
Totally.
Which like is, I don't know how you felt about college essays, but that kind of shit like did kind of come up with people writing their college essays of like, what's the most fucked up thing I can write about?
I mean, I've had to do that now with different fellowship things for writing. And it is this weird thing where it's like, okay, you have to mine your trauma for your own gain.
Yeah.
And it is such a strange thing that they feel like you're able to do that. So I don't know. It's very interesting and I kind of hate it because obviously there has to be a better way.
And so Carrington's like, good, dig deeper. How are we going to start this essay? And her daughter is like, ever since you told me that you used to cut yourself, I've been worried about what would happen to me if you unalived yourself. Kind of can't believe we're using like TikTok vernacular. Sarah Paulson's face, like taking in all this pain.
I could rewatch it another time. It was really subtle.
And sort of just like, I don't know, like menacing and crazy of like, taking all of this pain in of like, oh my God, my daughter's really worried that I'm going to end up like not being there for her because of this painful thing I went through. And like, good girl, that's a good essay. Like, whoa.
And like processing like, okay, my pain affects other people and just, I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like there's still so much we have to learn about this character.
Yes.
I think like this, we've just like hit the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, like we've gotten a good episode of context on Carr and we'll get more in a second, but I would like to see like past, like I want a flashback for Carr.
I know, I feel like it's interesting because we started with such a crazy flashback of the show and it's interesting we've not gone back.
I'm sure we will at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, and then her daughter's like, I'm going to write about how you like to wear gloves to cover the scar, which we've been talking about gloves. Like us and every other media outlet has been talking about the gloves and Carr's not the only person where there's a lot of gloves for people who live and work in LA. But that is a crazy like character thing to learn about Carr. Like that's why she's wearing the gloves all the time.
And that it like blew our minds a little bit.
It did.
Like what a detail.
It did. This fucking guy. Again, this character has not done anything bad. There's nothing to him. He hasn't done anything bad, but the fact that the show hasn't given him anything is making Caroline and I both be like, something's up.
Vegan week was a success. Yeah.
So like they're both kind of stoic with each other because the prenup made things awkward and Liberty's like, I saw the write-up. Vegan week was a success at the restaurant you invested in.
Negative sexual chemistry between each other.
Oh my God, it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's like, it just feels like a business partnership.
Yeah. But yeah, Vegan week was a success. Then Liberty is like, I was about to like blow the good thing that we had over a stupid piece of paper. Like silly me, divorce lawyer who was about to make a decision based on a prenup.
Right.
What are you talking about? Oh. And then Reggie is like, I will throw this in the shredder right now. Like if you really don't want to do it.
Now I'm wondering, was this all a ruse to get him to get her to not have a prenup?
Yeah, maybe, probably.
Because he's like, I'll throw it in the shredder right now if like that's actually what you really want.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm again playing 3D chess. Like
I know. Well, the thing too is that they're having like such surface conversations about it. She didn't tell him why she didn't want a prenup. He didn't really tell her. Right. He made it so nonchalant of like, it's really not that big a deal. If it's really not that big a deal, why do you need it? Like, I both don't care about these two. Like every time they're on the screen, I'm like, hurry up.
Yeah.
But then they also don't give them enough that I'm like confused by their plot line.
And like, this needs to pay off somehow.
Yes. We cut to Alora in her office and Bless Kim, she has memorized the legal jargon and is reciting it into this recorder in her office. And then Emerald comes running in and is like, listen, some shit is about to go down.
Which is like the funniest line of dialogue you could ever write. It's like, okay, all right, it's the third act of the show.
And then shit does go down because the LAPD
Craziest wig.
Detective Connie Morrow. So she comes in, she's like, I have a warrant to all of your like devices, legal pads, what have you. And Emerald is like, you need a separate court order because all of that stuff has attorney-client privilege all over it. And then she's like, here it is. They're like, why are you even here? And she's like, I'm here about the murder of Lloyd Walton, who was the guy who abused Emerald, took photos of her, and then suspiciously committed suicide the next day. Or whatever, however many days in All Is Fair Land. They're sitting down in the conference room and the detective is like, well, you've clearly been like poking around about Lloyd Walton. Like, that's suspicious. Alora's like, well, he abused somebody here and we were trying to get information on him because apparently the LAPD like didn't fucking care. And she's like, well, why are you talking to me if like you need to talk to all of the people who work here? Detective is like, your phone pinged a cell phone tower in Sherman Oaks. Apparently Sherman Oaks is very near to Lloyd Walton's residence. And then Alora has to admit, like, my ex-secretary is having my ex-husband's baby, and for some reason I feel like really connected to the baby, so I'm helping her out, and she lives there. That is why my cell phone pinged that tower. Like, easy explanation. Too easy?
Too convenient? We'll find out in episode 6. Maybe.
And then Dena Standish, she's coming in and being like, first of all, Alora, why are you in here without a lawyer?
Which is what we had said seconds before. I was like, why is she talking in here without a lawyer? And then Dena, not like 30 seconds behind.
This is where the show kind of shoots itself in the foot a lot of the time, and I think why people have a lower opinion of it is because, like, here's the thing. Any crime procedural you're watching is not like how it actually happens in real life.
No.
But there's a lot on this show where you're like, these supposedly really smart, really professional, like, women who get the job done are not, like, doing, like, basic stuff, like, don't talk to a cop without your lawyer, get a prenup, like, so it's just confusing. But Dena's trying to make the point, like, you really think that the women at this law firm hit the streets guns ablaze? And we're done with that for a while, but that's going to be a huge problem for GRG. We find out that Carrington has arrived at Sebastian's house to see him, and it's been a long time. And she's like, when did it get weird between us? And she was like, we did the girl gay family thing for almost a decade. So we're finding out pretty clearly and definitively this was her, like, gay best friend who is the biological father of her daughter, and that the three of them were very close for a long time. He was Uncle Sebastian, and then, like, something happened. And he was like, maybe when you sued my husband for child endangerment. And she was like, well, he took a 9-year-old asthmatic girl on a 14-mile hike in the Grand Canyon without her inhaler. And he was like, without her backup inhaler. And she's like, hey, the reason I'm here is not, like, to make amends with you. Ami wants you at her birthday party Saturday, Magic Castle. Yeah, then they get back into it again, and we get another opportunity for Sarah Paulson to say the most speechified version of the word come.
Circuit party, come, dumb. Circuit party, come, dumb.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay, I think,
that's pretty good. Yeah. That's good. And so she was like, well, I'm sorry I didn't bring my daughter around when you were married to that circuit party cum dump who was draining your IRA. And this I just loved because this is what, like, every audience member is thinking is, like, the pictures you can paint with your words. Because so many times I've been sitting here and then I'm like, what did you just say?
I know.
And then he really gets into it with her. And he's like, you are a horrible friend. When you're on and you're present, you're great. And then you just disappear. And it's like the sun has gone with you. And then he says, we're not sitting here playing Will and Grace anymore. All right. I know she's not my daughter, but I am her biological father, and I love her very much. And kudos to this actor. He's doing a great job for, I don't know if we're ever going to see this character again.
I know.
Probably, hopefully. And Carrington finally sort of breaks down and is like, I'm a bitch. I'm too blunt. I'm an asshole. Everybody hates me. And she says, it's how I was raised. And I'm like, I'm begging for a flashback. I want to see who Carrington Lane's mother is. And you had an idea about who it might be.
Okay, if it's not Glenn Close, then my other thought was, like, thinking of the Ryan Murphy universe, Jessica Lange. Because they've also already done a lot of stuff together, so it makes sense to me.
And if we're talking about, like, probably an abusive mother-daughter relationship.
I hope they slap each other.
Oh my God, Jessica Lange, yeah. Please, I'm dying for it. And then we get the titular line, this is me trying. Yeah, Carrington is like trying to change, trying to be a better person. She says, I want to be better. Yeah, I mean,
eyes.
I'm glad that we got this because so far, Carrington has just been an unrelenting, inexhaustible bitch who says completely out of pocket shit. So it was really nice to get to humanize her. And like now I'm really rooting for her because she's got like a complex
I know. And also she just like is so, the lines are, it just, I don't know. Yeah, now we're rooting for the antagonist. Yeah. The antagonist is the protag.
Yep, there it is. They share this lovely hug. We get a shot of her. And then we are back at Dena and Dougie's. Imagine if this was your bedroom. 3 archways. Like, this is just crazy.
I know. I was like, is this Versace's bedroom? Like, where are we? Like, it's palatial.
This is crazy. Dougie finally reveals to Dena, because he's really not doing well. And she's like, you'll be okay tomorrow or maybe the next day. And he's like, we're there, darling. Fade to black. Roll credits. He was supposed to have told her this weeks ago. And just didn't because he couldn't. And she's obviously freaking out and he's like, I need you to be strong. I mean, I know the dude's dying, but what the fuck? To tell your spouse, like, hey, I'm actually not recovering. I'm actually like on my way out and like I need you to like hold it together.
It just, now she's seeing my Brooke Shields is like, I have to be divorced.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, okay, now I'm seeing like, you've pulled the rug out from under me. I've done all of this care for you and now...
And you can't at least just be honest with me?
We've been through so much together and you still can't let me in?
Yeah. Like, why wasn't she at the doctor's appointment? Like, why didn't he tell her?
Or did he not tell her about the doctor's appointment?
Very possible. Very possible. And then Glenn heads downstairs to make a cup of tea, but because we have Glenn fucking clothes, we're not making tea, we're throwing shit. She breaks the teapot. She throws a vase on the floor. This was so fun to watch with you because she picked up the vase and you just went, drop it.
Yeah.
And then she did, and it shattered. And she starts screaming and crying.
Our great screamer.
Out a guttural. Yeah, you said. What did you say? You said
one of our great screamers. One of our great screamers.
Yeah, and that is how the episode ends with Glenn in a guttural scream. This was a very meaty episode. Too meaty, actually. Like we didn't need some of the stuff in it, probably.
No, but it's interesting, okay, to think of like episodes 4 and 5 back to back.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like almost we got like bottle episodes.
Yeah.
In a way of like that we got all this thing with Emerald and then we got Carrington. So now it makes me wonder, like, is it gonna be Dena next week? Like, it's just interesting because we've now taken such a swerve from the first 3 episodes and what those tones were. So I just kind of don't know what to predict moving forward.
Less of an idea with each passing episode.
I know, but I'm thrilled to be here. Yeah. I'm glad I get to see the girls act. I'm just like happy. I don't really care about the plot if I'm getting to see the girls act.
No, thank you for being here with us on my couch with Caroline.
This has been so fun.
We will be back next week, sadly not in the same place.
I know.
But we will be back with the next episode. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us in the comments, which you should
get in the comments. We want to hear what you think.
Please talk to us.
Tell us your favorite Carrington Lane line.
Oh my God, please. But we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.